For 5 centuries, there's been this eye-opening pattern that seems to take down every global superpower. It's like a playbook that's been used over and over again, and it's pretty wild to think about. Just look at Spain in the 1600s. They were riding high, but then boom, they hit rock bottom. Britain. They faced a similar fate after the World Wars. And let's not forget the Soviet Union, which crumbled in less than 3 years. 3 empires, 3 total collapses, all following the same 7-stage sequence. The crazy part? The United States is already deep into this cycle, having completed 5 of those 7 stages. So today, we're diving into where America stands right now. Stage 5. This isn't just some wild prediction. It's an analysis based on a historical pattern that has repeated itself without fail. We were going to trace this journey from Spain's silver-fueled bankruptcy to Britain's loss of the pound as the world's reserve currency. Each empire thought they were special, that the rules didn't apply to them. But spoiler alert, they all followed the sequence to its inevitable end. So what's this pattern all about? And what does Stage 5 mean for us? These 7 stages are like a blueprint for imperial decline. Let's break it down. Stage 1, military overextension. Stage 2, currency debasement. Stage 3, the debt spiral. Stage 4, loss of productive capacity. And then we land at today's focus. Stage 5, social decay. The final stages? 6 is the loss of reserve currency status, and 7 is the ultimate collapse. Spain went through all 7 stages. Britain did too. The Soviet Union. You guessed it, all 7. By understanding Stage 5, we can glimpse the road ahead. And trust me, it's a road that's been traveled before. Stage 5 is where the internal fabric of a nation starts to unravel. It's like watching a sweater slowly come apart at the seams. This unraveling is the result of the financial and economic mess created in the earlier stages. Let us take a look at the first signpost of Stage 5, a complete loss of faith in political systems. Seriously, think about it. Do you feel like the government is really working for you? Polls show that trust in institutions, from Congress to the media, is at an all-time low. People feel like the system is rigged, that politicians are serving powerful interests instead of the public. This isn't just some cynical viewpoint, it's a core symptom of late-stage decline. When citizens stop believing in their own governance, the social contract that holds a nation together starts to break down. We see this in the bitter political divisions of today, where compromise is viewed as betrayal and opponents are seen as enemies. This deep-seated distrust is a classic marker of Stage 5. It's like a relationship that's gone sour. There's no trust left, and everything feels fragile. Now let's talk about the second major symptom, the erosion of social cohesion. We're not just politically divided, we're growing apart as communities. Remember when we used to have shared values, a common culture that bound us together? Nowadays, it feels like we're sorted into ideological tribes, living in different information bubbles, often viewing those outside our group with suspicion or even hostility. This isn't just a natural evolution. It's a sign that the internal unity of a superpower is fracturing. When people stop trusting their neighbors, when communities turn inward, and when the sense of a shared national identity fades, society becomes incredibly fragile. This fragmentation makes it almost impossible to tackle the massive problems facing the nation. We can't even agree on what the problems are, let alone how to fix them. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces. Next up, we see the tangible consequences of this decay, the deterioration of essential services and public safety. When a government is buried under debt and its political system is paralyzed, it can't perform its most basic functions effectively. Look around at crumbling infrastructure, roads, bridges, and public transit that are decades overdue for repair. It's a mess. We see it in struggling public schools and an increasingly strained healthcare system. At the same time, we're witnessing a decline in public safety in many areas. When people feel unsafe in their own neighborhoods and lose confidence that the authorities can protect them, it's another sign that the state is failing to uphold its end of the social contract. This isn't just a budget issue, it is a crisis of competence and a direct result of the pressures built up in the earlier stages. It's like a domino effect, where one failure leads to another, and before you know it, everything is in chaos. All of this unfolds against the backdrop of a continued decline in economic power and global influence. The United States is no longer the undisputed manufacturing giant it once was. Stage 4, the loss of productive capacity, has already hollowed out our industrial base. Now, in Stage 5, we're seeing the geopolitical consequences. Other nations are rising and challenging America's dominance on the world stage. Our alliances are strained, and our ability to shape global events is diminishing. The world is becoming more multipolar, and the unshakable confidence that defined America for decades is being replaced by a sense of anxiety and uncertainty. This loss of global standing feeds back into the social decay at home, creating a vicious cycle of decline. It's like a feedback loop, where every negative aspect amplifies the others, making it harder to break free from the cycle. Perhaps the most potent driver of Stage 5 is the final element, societal unrest, fueled by economic disparity. The gap between the ultra-wealthy and everyone else has grown to levels not seen in a century. When a large portion of the population feels left behind, when they work harder but fall further behind, and when they see a small elite accumulating unimaginable wealth, it creates a powder keg of resentment. This isn't about envy, it's about a sense of fundamental unfairness. History shows that no society can long withstand such extreme levels of inequality. It breeds populism, extremism, and social conflict. People lose hope in the promise of a better future, and that desperation can easily boil over into widespread unrest. This is the engine of social decay, pushing the nation ever closer to the next stage. It's like a pressure cooker, and if we don't address these issues, the lid is going to blow off. So, where does that leave us? We are firmly in Stage 5. The signs are undeniable: financial collapse from debt, loss of faith in our government, social division, failing services, and rising unrest. But the pattern doesn't stop here. The next step, Stage 6, is the loss of reserve currency status. This is the big one. It's when the world stops using the US dollar as its primary currency for trade and savings. With a national debt of over $36 trillion and growing by $1 trillion every few months, how long can the world's confidence last? We're already seeing other countries begin to make deals in their own currencies, slowly chipping away at the dollar's dominance. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck, and it's hard to look away. The pattern of history is clear. This isn't speculation. It's recognizing a sequence that has played out time and time again. 3 empires followed these 7 stages to complete collapse. The United States has completed 5. The math of our debt is unsustainable. The political will to fix it is non-existent. History doesn't give us an exact date, but it shows us the sequence with chilling certainty. The question is no longer if Stage 6 and 7 will happen, but when. Understanding where we are in this cycle is the first step toward preparing for what is to come, rather than being blindsided by it. It's like being in a storm. You can either batten down the hatches or get swept away. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into a pattern that governments hope you never notice. If you want to keep exploring the historical cycles that shape our world, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about where we're headed? Stay informed and stay prepared. We've got to keep the conversation going.